Hello, my name is David Weber. I'm the owner of Grey Wolf Innovations Incorporated. I'd like to take a minute of your time and demonstrate what I believe is the correct way to design and develop products. Now, whether the product that you've got is an existing product that you need to improve or if it's a brand new idea, usually to start out you have to come up with that idea, what you want to do to change. So we got an idea here. What most people do is they start from the idea, they take that over to CAD. It used to be everything was done in two-dimensional CAD. Now it's more common for everything to be done in three-dimensional CAD. So you take your idea and it starts here. What most people do from that point is they make a prototype. They say, well, let's see if what we've just designed works. So prototypes usually end up being reasonably expensive because you don't get all the economies of scale that you do for an actual production part. But it gives you an idea whether or not this part will work or the system. And from there, you go into testing. Now if you're in engineering or manufacturing, you're familiar with this process already. Okay? And you know that when you make your first prototype, these things can be pretty expensive. And then when you make a test stand to test out this first prototype, you also know that these things can be pretty expensive. So what happens if you didn't get it exactly right? Do you say close enough is good enough? Or do you go back in this design cycle, backtrack, do more CAD work to see if it's actually going to make a difference? A lot of people get stuck in this trap where they do this design cycle trap. And usually you have to come up and you have to go bang, you have to shoot the engineer just to get the product out the door because he wants to continually evolve this. Well, the problem is you're racking up huge costs every time that happens. There is a better way. That better way involves simulation. Now, okay, Dave, simulation's expensive and it's time consuming. Well, it used to be much more so. Now, tools today with the computer systems and the software systems, it's become a lot easier. And because of that, you don't have the big dollars there anymore. It's pretty inexpensive. And it's actually your best dollar spent now. So we go right straight from the CAD system and we do the simulation. So what are we simulating? Well, let's simulate stress, simulate flow. Well, let's make sure parts fit together. Okay, you can also do other stuff like thermal analysis. And quite a few other things. But the key is that figure out if your part's going to work first. So we go from creating the simulation to doing the analysis. Now analysis, most of these things are pretty much wrapped up right in with a simulation now. It becomes a pretty straightforward thing to see whether or not when you've simulated your CAD or whether this is a control system to go into simulation and do the analysis. It's pretty cost effective now to say, didn't quite work the way we wanted it to, let's go back. Well, now that you've got your CAD put together, that's usually pretty quick to make a change there because you're not making a physical prototype anymore. You're just changing some numbers and stuff in your CAD system. You're going right back to your simulation system, which is already configured, going through the analysis, and then doing this loop. Well, you're racking up dollars a lot slower in this loop versus this loop. This is design cycle trap. This is a new paradigm on how to do design and development. Once you've got this thing, your product designed, and you're confident that with simulation and the analysis that it's doing exactly what it should do, then you make the prototype. And then you do the testing. Now, I've drawn this with $2 signs versus 1. this could end up being an order of magnitude more expensive. What do I mean by that? At a decimal point more expensive than doing it this way. So you can do quite a few of these iterations. You could do about 10 of these iterations before you could do one here to figure out that your product worked or didn't work. And the chances of you getting to this first prototype and doing testing and making sure that that first prototype and that first system works, you have about a 10% chance, 10 times chance better that it's going to work straight out of the gate versus this one. Thank you for your time. My name is David Weber. My company is Grey Wolf Innovations. Follow me and I'll show you how we actually do this.